So tonight is our second night. Tomorrow is our final night for the week. And tonight we have Serhii Korovayny, who I recorded with a week ago. He was in Ukraine, and we did it during the day. Tomorrow we have two people. We have Neil Bailey and Elisa Iaconi, who who two really terrific presentations. Neil will be live, and Elisa will be recorded.
Okay.
So with that, Jay, hit the button, and I give you Serhii Korovayny.
No, of course. It's really good to be back. And last time, I guess, I presented my work in projections in spring 2024, so more than a year back. And I was looking through pictures, and I said like, wow, it was a long time, and uh, I did a lot of work here and there in Ukraine since then. So it's just wonderful to use projections as like a benchmark for my work from year to year. I guess it's the third time already. So thanks
Yes,
for your work,
and
for opportunity.
in all that time, you've always been in Ukraine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you've stayed always.
Uh,
Okay.
yes. And so today I'm gonna show a few stories rather than just sets of single pictures.
Okay.
And we'll see how we do with time. But I definitely want to start about maybe work of the year and even maybe work of my life, because actually in spring, summer 2024, more than a year ago, I started to think about what I photograph, what's my role here. And so I was born and raised in eastern Ukraine, in the region of Donbas, Donetsk region, which is highly contested, and my hometown is occupied since 2014. So Russians are there for 12 years now, and I started to scramble through my archives, and I thought that I should pay more attention to my home region until it's basically gone,
Mm.
because Russia in 2020, 14, 22, 3, 4 now continue to advance there. And unfortunately, in 2024, they had pretty good ones. And you all might heard about the city of Pokrovsk, about so that was like area of the biggest problems for Ukraine, for Ukrainian army there. And in that time, in 2024, I started to pay more attention on a very like regular moments of life in my home region. And I photographed little stories or just single pictures in Donbas, with this idea that if Russia will come here to this village, to this town, they will just smash it. They will just destroy it as they did with Bakhmut, with Avdiivka, with
Oh.
basically anywhere they occupy. And I mean, unfortunately, that's what happened. So in 2024, 25, I photographed a lot of things in Donbass, and I'm going to show them to you now. And many, even most of these places are like not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, for
So,
example, this is
so
Mhm.
let me just ask you. So, is this
Yeah.
sort of like a new point in your life in general? Like, what is left of where I'm from? I mean, and what brought that up to your mental state to come to this thinking?
Yeah, yeah, I guess so, because with this project, I'm gonna show you new work, but I also started to go through archives, and now I'm seeing my work since 2014 as a photographer, and even like I'm looking through my teenager photos in the my hometown where I can't go anymore, as a project, as a whole. I'm gonna make a book, so hopefully I'll present this book in October in New York, in ICP Photo Book Fair. So if anyone will be around, please join us. But that's only plans. We are
Yeah,
working
yeah,
on it now.
yeah. And
Yeah,
you let me know of that. So
of
we'll let
course.
everyone, we'll let the entire audience know for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's the
Please
plan.
start.
Uh, yeah, so I got to Yups workshop masterclass by WordPress Photo, and I was thinking, what should I do for the workshop? It's like the highest level of educational opportunity for like anyone. And I was talking through mentors and through one of the person who influenced my decision to look as my work in the Donbas as a whole was Elizabeth Christ, right? Right, you know
Yeah,
her. I guess you
yeah,
know her.
she's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
great lady.
So yeah, yeah. So and I was able to look at my work from the side.
Mm,
And of course, later I'll show you like straightforward news photography. But now let's start with Donbass.
okay.
Uh, so that's Pokrovsk, very peaceful, 2024, full of life. In a few months, it's going to be just like empty, and now it's completely destroyed. And I'm I'm working at war. I'm working as a strict forward for the journalist. So that's just like some war pictures, which looks like wire photos. I did those for Wall Street Journal mostly, some for Reuters. But things like this, I was just like traveling myself around. This is city of Kramatorsk, for example. It's the biggest city remaining in Ukrainian control in Donbas, and it's just like very casual life. There is a distraction, but there is life, and it's very close in the place where I'm from. Things like this. So I'm thinking a lot about this concept of love and loss and this bittersweet feeling of myself returning to my homeland with the understanding that it's just like gonna be gone soon. For example, this is like the last field before the front line in summer 2024, and this is the farmer hiding from FPV drones, from Russian FPV drones, in the tree line, and he's like workers collecting wheat and like just finding Russian air bombs on their field. And I photographed it in June, and in August it was already under Russian occupation. So it's like very last farming, like harvesting, in this place. And for Ukrainians, it's bread and harvest. It's very important because we survived the Holodomor, the starvation forcefully made by Stalin in the 1930s. So it's very painful for us to see anything like this when our bread is like killed and burned.
And where is your family now?
They are in my hometown. They are
So,
under Russians. Basically, they're living there since 2014, and unfortunately, by like million of reasons, they didn't leave when they were able. And now my father's pretty old, and they just like stuck there basically by economical and like family
yeah.
reasons. So yeah, we communicate, but not much, and unfortunately, we don't see each other.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
so moments like this, it's not like a great photography, but for me, it's this like feeling. It's very hot, and she's too lazy to scratch the dog, and dog is too lazy with the hand, and dog is too lazy to come closer, and they just like doing it in a very slow and nice manner. And you always see the smoke around. There is still like very heavy fighting. And in summer 2024, it was probably the heaviest. It's a city of Kurakhove, which is also now occupied. War destructions in summer. And of course, I'm shooting all kind of military stuff, and drones became the biggest military topic, military weapon in with Ukraine, with Russia, and those were FPV drone Ukraine positions, and that's what they see. Some Russians were hiding in this house, and it's also something which fascinates me in a strange way that you can see the war in live stream with these
mm,
guys, or like that's how movements between positions looks like with jammer against drones in the backpack. So it's very like futuristic kind of way this war turning on. 19th century infantry war with like technologies of 21st century, and it's all concentrated in Donbas also.
So this collection here is sort of like a family album.
It's not about it's more about my tribute to the land,
Mm,
to the region. The very work, very raw name of the project is Love Letter to Donbass, which is it. It's tough to love this place,
mm,
but I don't have any other like motherland. This is my balcony, and I have the flag of the region in my balcony, which is sun rising above the sea of coal because it's heavily industrialized region,
mm,
and it's really tough to love it. And sometimes people in Ukraine, in like western parts of Ukraine, say like, why should we send soldiers to die there? Basically, it's just like an empty land and nothing there, nothing to love, nothing to fight for. So I guess my project is also attempt to show that it's worth to fight for this land. It's no different than any other place on the earth with, yeah, sure, like lots of problems, and but also moments like this, right? Like boys in the seashore.
yep.
In the lake near the shore. I mean, I studied in upstate New York, and that was myself in when I was doing master's degree in 2017. It could be anywhere in the world, or things like this.
Yeah.
It's Pokrovsk, and now it just like you really can't just walk here. A Russian FPV drone will just hunt you. So people, it's like soldiers running back and forth through the night or something.
Right.
Very
Mm,
typical postcard with the slag heaps near the coal mines and smoke from the fighting, things like this. Or like moments like this. It's
right.
very regular, very nice, sweet moment of my friend with her dogs. We're walking and just enjoying life, basically. Like bread,
Mm,
but also, of course, shelling and death. And last time I showed that I started to work on the story about the last power plant in eastern Ukraine. And in winter 2024, they tried to make it work. It was also in Kurakhove, which is now under Russians. And in summer 2024, they decided just to cut the plant in pieces and like evacuate all these pipes and mechanisms to other power plants. So just like cannibalize it to make other power plants work. And it's also like very tough tough thing to see because it's you like you literally cutting it because there is like no future, no electricity, no light here. And then the Russians just like destroyed it fully in a few months after these pictures.
mm,
That's one of my favorite things to shoot is large night drones work with this red light and long summer days when it's like 9, 10 p.m. There is still blue on the horizon. Visually, it's very striking,
yeah.
but also, of course, dangerous because it's close to the front line and pilot working from the cover, and that's the front line. Basically, you see fire here and there. It was like shelling, and then you see the smoke, and it's constantly here and there. You see those fires. Um, that's how it look. Oh, things like this. This is Halina
Yeah.
in Drushkivka, and she uh, has 20 very old and sick dogs living with her. It's basically like hospice for dogs. And she's like, sure, there's like, it's dangerous, but what would my old and sick dogs do without me? And she's
Mm,
refusing to leave. And there are many people like her who are like refusing to leave.
mm. And so, okay, is it or can you explain the emotional piece of documenting your villages, your home, versus when you go travel and you're documenting? What is the
Hmm.
difference for you in your heart?
Hmm. First of all, I haven't really worked on different wars, on different like places as a journalist. I
Mm,
always worked in Ukraine mostly. That's my like primary piece of interest, and that's my country. So I never really had this feeling that I'm traveling abroad, overseas to cover
mm,
something. But this is something like this because uh, I always felt emotionally attached to this particular region of mine with all kind of tiny things of like smell of the air, this grass smell I remember from the childhood, or typical landscapes, typical people, pretty like straightforward and sometimes not nice to strangers, but it's a tough region. But with like Zen, you understand, it's like pure kindness. You can observe it in this picture, for example. So I I think that no one really, including myself, are not photographing things like this because it's not newsworthy. And
mm,
in the beginning of war, I was coming to these places, sleep, drink coffee, and then go to the front line. Right, and then like shoot news and or real stuff and things like this with dogs, with like swifts, birds in the sea, in the sky, these tiny moments. They were just like out of interest. There are very few photographers who are doing it, and I was like, wow, I'm from here. I feel attached, so I should just like pay more attention with my camera to
mm.
to very like regular life. And yeah, I guess it definitely works, and I want to continue it. The problem is it's like a race against time because there are less and less
Mm.
cities remaining. And again, with the drone warfare, uh, this year and last year are totally different because like Russian drones can fly for like 20, 30 kilometers in depth, and places which were like totally safe now are basically like are not safe. You should like there are a few roads connecting these main cities and villages of this region, and they are all most of them are like dangerous now. Russian drones can hit you and just like go to report purely civilian topics. So I always feel that I'm not doing enough. That I need to move quickly, spend more time there. And I mean, it's hard because when you're on assignment, you're doing things like I don't know what.
No, I
You
understand.
do
We
Yeah,
understand
you're doing
exactly
things
what
like
you're saying.
this, and you don't have time for like for this. So you have to spend your own time, and it's hard. I have family, I have other issues, and so it's lots of things to do. And I'm really glad that at least I started.
Yeah, and it's very important to show this part of what's going on. I mean, for all of us, to see the human side of this is really, really important. It brings the
Yeah, yeah.
humanity to it. Yeah.
Not even only for you as a foreigner. It's knowing that our audience generally care about what's happening in the world, what's happening in Ukraine, but even like for Ukrainians,
Yeah.
I feel that this is like very important work to do to show the human side of the purely militarized topic in minds of like everyone.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and moments like this of people living, it's always painful. Like sure, her name is Katerina. She's like 86, and just before her a few members of her family got killed by Russian shell in her yard, and then she got evacuated to by church organization to safety, and then she broke a leg while being evacuated, and just like sometimes it's even hard to to embrace how much sorrow and grief and sadness and problems Russia gives to us. And I
And
want to talk about it, but in a like quieter way, with things like this, because those like bodies and blood and destructions are important, but they're not touching, I guess, as they used in
I
the
guess
beginning of war.
in the conversations that you have with these folks, is there any backing down? Is there any like thinking of let's stop and let's give them this, or is it all everyone is still passionately we have to fight? Is there any sort of rethinking like let's give them this piece of land and let's stop this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I guess it would be a very different answer in different places with
Mm,
different people. But in general, I guess what happened over years, even over a year, we haven't talked, is we got tired. This war is happening for too long, and it's not gonna end anytime soon. So yeah, I guess even if I ask any of these people, do you want to stop? I guess they say yeah. And even myself, I don't believe that Ukraine can take back our land with
mm,
military actions anytime soon, because again, war changed with drones, with new technologies, with tactics. We can see so-called 2025 Russian big offensive operation. They took like tiny piece of land and already lost 100,000 soldiers. That's the economist said, not myself and not Zelensky and not
yeah.
Ukrainian propaganda. So because it's very efficient now to defense using drones and mines and everything. So I guess for now in Ukraine there is mood that we want to stop, to recover, to build strong country, and then to continue working on returning these our territories, but not losing our people because we already lost too much. So if I ask soldiers, do you want to stop? Many of them would say yes. If I ask these people, particularly these people, this lady who had to leave her coal mine, her Pokrovsk, her town, because Russia is coming, yes. Like this lady, Katerina, of course. So yeah, in general, mood are like far from being cheerful, and I mean, also you may guess how recent attitude by our American allies
Yeah.
affect our mood. So it's also doesn't add up with our with ability and with desire to continue fighting.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. So all these people most likely already left. Like this family, she's a single mother of four, and I helped them to find cages for dogs, and that's basically one of her last days in her in her house. They left to central Ukraine and things like this. I'll speed up a bit because I have a lot in Donbas, but I really want to show the whole picture.
Yeah.
And of course, in winter, I came back to. I photographed a lot in Pokrovsk, and Pokrovsk it's one of the biggest cities in Donbas, and uh, with all forecasts, with all assumptions, Russia should have taken it in like October 2024, but Pokrovsk is still standing, and Russian troops lost like hundreds, thousands of people there was killed and wounded and missed. But of course, city is unlivable, and I came back to Pokrovsk. This This is, I guess, January 2025,
Mm.
and it's mostly military stuff and things like this. And it's always painful to come back to places where used to be perfectly normal. Like a few months ago, that was the main street with nice coffee shops, like really nice coffee shops, like amazing coffee shops and
Yeah.
restaurants and now you can just like see Russian drones lying here and there, and usually yeah, like we are running basically avoiding open spaces, not to be in a target, and that's dramatic. People still living there. It's hard for people to live.
And that drone shot that you had on the floor there,
Yeah.
that can carry one bomb. Is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So basically, this is pretty small one, so it can carry a small one, which will kill you, but probably will not kill like you in the armored car. But there are a bunch of drones, bigger drones, drones which can drop explosives, drones which can drop another drones with explosives. So it's crazy. Now the recent fashion is drones with the optic fiber. I'll show you optic fiber in a few pictures, and it just like it's becoming very very dangerous to work in and anywhere near the front line. And Tyler Hicks, New York Times photographer,
Yep.
did a great video. I guess New York Times published it a while ago about how war changed in Ukraine with his pictures. If anyone is fancy to see, find it. It's like very nice. Like a few years ago, I could easily photograph like APC carrier carrying like a few dozens of Ukrainian soldiers on it, driving through the frontline town like this. And now it's just like impossible. War went underground, and there are no more movement or stuff. And
Yeah.
that's, for example, hotel where we used to live like always since 2014, 15. And and it's like, hotel called Friendship, Hotel Дружба.
Mm.
Things like this. It's a very famous place for Ukrainians. It's like entrance to Donetsk region, and bunch of flags of different regiments, brigades, and you can even see some American flag in the background with, I guess it
Yeah.
was like some American volunteers. And now it's they reinforce it because drones already like around it. City of Dobrepilya, another one in Donetsk region. Medics working on the front line. New recruits, like super young guys, 18, 24, somewhere in the Donetsk region, and things like this. And I'm trying to pay attention to something which is like very familiar for me from the childhood. And maybe like people not from Eastern Ukraine will not react, and probably you guys will not react. But for me, it's like I don't know this berry in English, but that's like a taste of childhood, totally. And that's
Yeah.
pretty recent pictures. It's like months ago or something, summer 2025. A few last remaining foreposts of Ukraine in Eastern Ukraine, and people living. And recent fashion in the drone war is this kind of thing. So it's basically regular net over the road, so FPV drones will not hit your vehicle.
Uh,
And we are doing it all over the front line, and Russians are doing it. So you see, it's very very strange war with like such a simple technologies and like Mad Max vibe of giant rusty cars, but also with like and things like this. This is the optic fiber. It's the city of Konstantinivka,
uh,
which is uh, probably going to be like next big battle this summer. Maybe not, hopefully not. And it's already like Russian drones already hitting it. And so basically with the optic fiber, it's very thin, it's very light, and it shows a video signal to operator. So there is no way to jam this drone, no way to down it with a jammer. And now these fibers are everywhere, and soldiers taking pictures of birds making nests with this optic fiber, which is like very strange and beautiful and cruel at the same time.
Yeah, that's my God. Yeah.
Yeah. And few last remaining people in Konstantinivka.
And so the government comes, the military comes and tells these folks, it's time now, you must leave.
So government said that basically everyone should leave the Donbas region
Right.
like a year ago, but you can't really force people.
Mm,
Government can shut down services, and there is a mandatory evacuation of people with kids.
mm.
But for like adults, it can only recommend and doing its best to make these people leave. But at the other time, we spent all our resources to war, and unfortunately, but understandable, with our government, like Ukraine, doesn't do a great job in providing these people with care, with accommodation and stuff. And many of them left in the beginning of war, lived a few months in the rental apartment, spent all their money, didn't find a good job, and came back. So that's very sad, like story, and I can understand everyone here. So you come here there, you like, why don't you leave? Maybe you need like phone number of people who can, like, because there is free evacuation, free transfer, but they just like, where would we go? And charity organizations and government trying to provide, but not for everyone. And for people who are always live in this particular house, it's really hard then to move to some dormitory in like a gym, in some school, in a place where no one really understands you. But for in places like Pokrovsk, it's that dangerous, and like be like this kind of stuff. Police with armored cars, with like uh, pump. How do you call this? Pump gun, shotgun with the shotguns against
Shotgun.
drones, just like coming and taking people, and they cars are hit regularly. Like so it's now it's like also very dangerous for police or like for charities themselves to evacuate. So and that's it. That's it for this project for now. I'll let you know about the book presentation, hopefully, and that's fantastic that I can talk to about my home region for this white audience.
No, we
Uh,
that's really it's good to see it's good to see the intimate moments of what's going on. I mean, it's very, very important to see it.
yeah, thank you. So I'll show you another story.
Yeah.
It's everything else would be much shorter, and um, I'll show you this. This is pure like news photography, but
Mm.
that's maybe important to talk because so I guess most of our audience is from America, right?
Yeah.
And
And so when is this body of work, Serhii?
so this is winter to it's mostly 2025. And most of it is special, like this month, because in 2025, and especially in summer 2025, those like these weeks, Russia heavily intensified missile and drone attacks to Ukrainian cities, including Kiev. So in this body of work, I'll show kind of like daily nightlife of people of Ukraine capital. And I gotta say, now it feels very very dangerous to be in Kiev, because usually you go to the front line, you work there, you come here, it's like totally safe and nice.
Yeah.
But we believe that Russia doesn't have any success on the front line now, and they must show some success to their population, to current US administration, to continue to press that like we'll do anything possible, we'll conquer Ukraine will fail, don't even interrupt. And they don't have any success on the front line, so they hitting Ukrainian towns. They attack in like weapon production and energy sector, but they also press civilian population, basically to break, to start arguing, to press our government maybe to be more negotiable.
And
Yeah, go ahead.
the question, like how quickly is the population here getting news that's actually happening? Is it the same day? I mean, are they able to get the news, that Trump is talking to Zelensky and this is happening, that's happening, talking to Putin? I mean, are they getting that kind of news daily? Or is there a few days in between, or they're not
You
even?
mean Donald Trump? I have no idea, but
No. I mean, like that he's negotiating
you,
with Putin. Is like he's having a conversation with.
oh yeah, no, of course. We are like always in the news loop. I guess too much. I guess for me it's even more than enough. And yeah, I mean, um, why it's not just a second. Hmm. Can you see it?
Yeah, we see the first slide.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah,
It works like this. Okay, so that's what city of Kiev looks like. This is winter. Like
wow.
historical building got hit. Uh, People got killed. People got wounded. In June, it was like almost every night, and they dramatically increased the amount of drones they can launch to Ukraine to Kiev. So basically, how it usually happens, like we have this kind of news channels where we get literally live updates on where missiles and drones are flying. It looks like this.
Yeah.
So like there is possibility of air attack tonight.
Right.
Like planes are ready and stuff. So I'm going to sleep around
Right.
2 a.m. I'm waking up. Hold on, my dog is barking. Maybe something. Just a second.
Yeah, take your time.
Привіт. Я на балконі. Yeah, so I'm waking up out of explosions, which is probably air defense working, machine guns, air defense working towards drones, and this ugly sound of Iranian like Shahed drone, which
Mm,
sounds like a motorcycle, like and
yeah.
I'm living in the city center next to a few areas of Russian interest, so I just hear and it's like super scary because any of the thing, if it will shut down above you or just like hit your place, you'll die. So it's very frustrating, and it's like this attack is happening from 2 a.m. to like 6, 7, 8. So you get no sleep, and you have to perform somehow tomorrow. And if there is like some attack like this to the place where you can get access, of course I'm going there at night, like chasing rockets, chasing these drones, and when it happened in weeks after weeks, it's really tough thing to live through. Moment like this, when it's like this guy, it was again another attack, and the guy like brought bread because he has to sell bread, and it's pretty nice. And like sometimes their missiles, the drones are not very accurate, so like it is June, I guess, or May, when a Russian ballistic missile just like destroyed the whole residential building and killed dozens of people who were just like sleeping at night and things like this. She's alive, thanks God. She just wounded. So I'm going to the front line. I'm going to Donbas. I'm going out, but this is happening to my city, and that's why I decided to put it in the separate story, because it's really personal. It's like Donbass is personal, and this is personal. And at least I know that when I'm going out, my wife, my dog, my friends are safe. But this, it just like it can hit any of us. Yeah, this is a moment when like first responders trying to clean the rubble to get people under the rubble, and when there is like another missile attack threat, we all just go into the shelter and wait in like police, first responders, volunteers, for journalists, and we are all like waiting until the danger will gone, and it takes time, and people are like could just die at this moment.
Yeah, certainly.
And
Can you give us a little bit of like a little bit of information of what it's like in those shelters for, for that hour? Is somebody in control there, or is it everyone's just, calm and just managing themselves?
mhm, mhm. I'll have a short story for you. So this is like very typical, very regular shelter. Mostly it's or Soviet time, Cold War places, or basements in schools, in or parking lots. There is no one really in control. Shelters should be open all the time. However, sometimes there are like moments when they're closed and people are like lost. No, and in Kiev, local government didn't do a good job in providing shelters to people, unlike in frontline towns. So now we try to make it through somehow, because now again people, as in 2022, feels like a frontline city. So people from nearest houses, areas come to this place with dogs, with children, with whole family. And basically, as I told you, it's mostly at night, and people are trying to sleep. People like making this, pop-up beds, outdoor mats, scrolling phones, looking for, as I showed you, looking for like what's going on above them, common pets, talking, scrolling news, and it became pretty routinic. I guess there are like local communities, especially for like old people getting together as like circle. We did a story about it for.
It's all self-managed.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a responsibility of like local authorities to make sure that those are open, but inside there are no like
Right.
a person in charge, or like it could be self-proclaimed person in charge, something like
Right.
this.
Okay. Yeah.
So here you can see it's like old Soviet time Cold War one, because it's a radiation map in case of nuclear attack by, of course, United States of America. So it's very weird time to live in. And you can see what, yeah, like this, people trying to sleep, and those who are living near the subways, probably the the safest option. And it's like this, but with subway. Some people have like tents and setting up tents and sleep
And,
over.
and those little brown, those little brown, are those mats? The brown papers?
In this particular bomb shelter, and that's a funny story.
Yeah, like yeah, that,
It's
yeah.
a forms for the census for the population. Like yeah, in like since 2000 years, like 20 years ago. It just happened to be here, and people use them as mats. No,
Okay.
and every shelter is different.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Thank you.
yeah, and I'll finish with this one. It's a few more. Yeah, and bodies of people now in the professional like circles, we have big discussion of how to cover these things because some of my colleagues and myself also taking photos of people like this. And I know this girl was fine with it because like then she got public and talked about her experience. But sometimes people photographing like someone who might already be dead or unconscious, and like should we photograph it? We should, of course, we should show this cruel and horrible situation to the world. And I guess it happened because again, like just yesterday, President Trump had this press conference with Mark Rutte, and he said that those Russian attacks to Kiev affected somehow to Kiev and to other Ukrainian cities affected his decision to provide Ukraine with weapons paid by Europeans, but still. So we should photograph it. We should show it. So I guess it's important. But on the other hand, of course, like people don't want to be shown as vulnerable, and so there are like big discussion in Ukraine, and we don't know yet how to deal with it properly.
But there is really, I mean, that a discussion like that could go on forever. What's right, what's wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It becomes a personal decision, right?
yeah, yeah. And the last attack, the last for now, is this, which is just like a few hundred meters from my house,
Mm.
and that was not really nice. It's like a week ago or something. And teenagers come in the like 5 a.m. to watch the house in the neighborhood to burn, which is pretty striking. Yeah. So how are we going with time? Should I show something else or?
Yeah, show one more, and then that would, yeah, that'd be
Mhm.
perfect.
Okay, I'll show some singles. Some single images. The single images from Ukraine here and there, not from Donbas and mostly not from Kiev, but maybe it will give better sense of my work and
Mm.
what's going on. And that's how funeral looks like. It's Vasil Ratushny, famous, from a pretty famous Kiev family. It's a very public event, and we also have discussion how to photograph funeral respectfully for families. And that's President Zelensky when a few days after the Oval Office situation. So it was pretty tough moment for all of us morally when our biggest ally, we didn't know what to expect from a new administration. Now it's much better.
Yeah.
Evacuation of soldiers in the big bus from medic points in front line to big cities.
And every day at a certain period of time, everyone stops, right?
Um,
I thought
People,
one time during the day everyone just stops
uh, uh,
for a moment.
those who care,
Okay.
unfortunately not everyone, but many people. It's in Kharkiv. One of the biggest malls got hit by the air bomb. Uh, and I photographed Kharkiv a lot. Last time I remember I showed a lot of Kharkiv. It's biggest Eastern Ukrainian city. And at one moment, Russia hid the publishing house, the biggest publishing house. One of the one of its business is to publish study books for students in schools, and
Mhm.
I remember them, and it was like a really unfortunate event, but I guess they're working now again, and theaters working, and this weird mix of everything. Again, how warfare looks like. It's near Kharkiv, and basically that's like some random house, lots of screens, war in the live feed. Very different from it used to be even in 2022. More
Yeah.
of Kharkiv, raves, going along with bombing and things like this.
The
And
children really need that, right? Sure.
yeah, adults also. I was
Yeah.
photographing it from the water, and then I took camera and just went for a swim. I'm gonna go for a swim after our conversation if there will be no Russian attack. But now the big US delegation is in Kiev, so I guess for a week or so we're pretty safe. Kit Kellag is in Kiev, uh, so maybe we can rest a bit. And things like this, portraits in Donbas restaurants, which is my pure love.
Mm.
It's Lviv, very eastern, very western city on the border with Poland, and I was there by the random assignment by someone, and it was really big missile attack, and this guy, oh my God, I forgot their name of their family. Just a second, I really want to say it because it's important. Yeah, this is so. It was a crazy story, very sad story. So this guy with blood on his face is Yaroslav Bazilevich. He had three daughters of different age, and wife, and they were hiding in on the stairs, and he went to get water or something to his apartment on the top floor, which is considered not safe, and stairs are safe. And Russian missile hit the area, and three daughters and wife
Mm.
died instantly. And he survived because he went out. And I mean, it struck me so hard because I mean, can you imagine? He just like they were really nice family, like very artistic. Everyone knew them in Lviv, and at one moment he lost like everything, and that's the funeral of the family in central church in Lviv, and
Wow.
yeah, and funeral, and that's probably one of the like most touching stories I photographed
It
recently.
it
Yeah,
never it never becomes a routine. Each one seems so fun.
never.
And it was
Yeah,
interesting as I'm waiting for you to find the name, and now I realize why how important that is to have that name.
yeah.
I understand.
Uh,
That's unbearable.
yeah. Uh, and nice things to photographs of it's definitely POW exchange. It's one of the recent it's like huge exchange, 1,000 to 1,000. And on the one hand, it's fantastic event when like soldiers come in from Russian prison, super skinny, super sick, and I've done a few stories about what they survived in Russian prison, and it's all about all kind of tortures and like nasty things you can imagine.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like it's really nice when they reunite with families. But one of the strong and sad things about this is when relatives and friends of people who are in Russian prison who don't know what happened with their who are like missed their relatives, their husbands, fathers are missed in action, and they come into this exchange place and like asking soldiers who are from prison from Russia to recognize someone of their relatives, because there is no other way to understand that their loved ones are alive,
Mm.
as Russia doesn't give any information to Ukraine. And it's like, on the one hand, it's like pure wonder and happiness, but on the other hand, so many people who are like desperate to find any information. So it's again like
So,
very
so,
bittersweet moment.
so a moment like this is that the town knows that at 2 o'clock a bus is coming with prisoners that are being released. So everyone comes with the hope that maybe their boy is on that bus.
Um, yes. So these people made like a group, like a community, and they annoy basically authorities who deal with prisoners exchanges. And it's not like even town knows, but these people know that it's usually in like hospital or in some place. We don't name because again we're afraid of like Russian attack. But yeah, somehow they know and they come. So they hope that their relatives will be on this in buses, but it's like very rare. Their bigger hope is that someone will recognize their relatives. Someone will say, "Yeah, yeah, I saw them in Tumen prison, in St. Petersburg prison when we were like travel. They transferred us, and I saw him. He is alive." That's like their biggest hope. And I mean, you can understand it's very rare when it happens. But I saw that a few of them like got news, which was wonderful. And as in many other places, it's really hard to be a journalist at this place because there are again like 50 photographers. And once you get a moment like this, there are all of us just like Russians there and photographing, and it's not really nice. But I mean, you should do it, but it's really hard to do it ethically, as
Yeah.
in many other.
And
Uh,
and seeing the previous photograph, you close your eyes and that's in Israel waiting for the hostages to come back.
yeah, yeah,
In
yeah,
Gaza
yeah.
waiting for their prisoners to come back.
Relatives to be yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh
Mm.
man, it's too much pain. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And another, like I told you, I did a few stories about people who survived Russian
Yeah.
prisons. And this is Pavlo. Pavlo, he's like 23 or something, really young guy who spent 3 years in prisons, and that's a portrait of him like a few months after rehabilitation. And this is probably last thing. Northern city of Sumy, you can hear it in news a lot because Russia is trying to push to it after we left Kursk region. And Sumy is another frontline town under constant attacks, but with again drone warfare,
Mm.
Russian tank burning in the live view. So that's a few photos from the moment when Ukraine was still in Kursk region. And though these are very recent of Sumy now, when like again Russian drones hitting it all the time, but there are still like music and kids hanging out and things like this.
Mm.
As usual, it's very uh, difficult to say how we do it.
Yeah.
And this is a funeral of Pavlo Ivanov. He died in Kursk region, and it's in Dnipro. And I guess I'm gonna finish in with this one. So when there is a funeral of a soldier, those who know about it, relatives, and sometimes like local authorities offer people like letting people know. So people just like go in outside with flags and say like final farewell to people. And I photographed. We just like were driving with a convoy with the body and the relatives and towards the cemetery, and there were people all over the town just saying goodbye to the defender. Yeah, and I guess that's what I wanted to show you today.
No, we thank you very much. I mean, there's so much there of moments that we need to see, and seeing, life's trying to go on. It's yeah, your imagery and your storytelling really leaves us speechless, because it's so intimate, and it's beautiful to see you looking beautiful in a beautiful sunny day in Ukraine. That's the two sides of this, the hellish of war, right? And
Yeah, life here is wonderful until it's not, and it could switch that easy. I don't know how is it to live when you are sure there will be like no attack, no one will die, and I mean I hope we'll know about it soon, because every war ends up somehow. So hopefully we're at least coming towards the end, because we are tired. Russia is tired. Everyone is tired. So hopefully we'll come towards peace. But until then, thanks for having me, and I'll continue photograph, and hopefully we'll
yes,
meet soon
yes,
for
and
another bunch of work.
yes, and when you're putting your book together and all of that, to contact me, and certainly we would welcome very much you coming back on
Fantastic.
and being with us. So be safe, your family, be safe. Our prayers are with you, and thank you so much for doing this.
Thank
And
you.
we will
Goodbye.
be in touch. Thank you. Bye. Another another poignant, heartbreaking, to your word there, Aline, presentation. And tomorrow we actually have two really different ones. One, Neil, who did a lot of volunteer, bringing in different vehicles to give to the army and to give to the people. And Alisa, which you'll see tomorrow as well, is doing like this project with young kids who have wishes and have dreams and what they dream of. And she was able to work with the Ukrainian art art community, and getting all these props from England over to realize these folks' dreams, these little kids' dreams. Really spectacular work. If you can make it, try to make it tomorrow. I don't use those words lightly, but it really is a very inspiring presentation that she put together in the middle of the war zone, and these little kids get to live out these dreams in hospitals and right on the street, and the way they've dressed it like studios, really incredible. So if you're around for tomorrow, um, that would be great to you'll really be thrilled. And of course, it'll be on our YouTube channel eventually. I think by the weekend, that'll be all of these will be up by I guess Saturday or Sunday, so you could see it there. But I don't know if Jay is there, but we can open up if you guys have any comments or questions or any of that. You can chime in, and I get somebody put in the chat room, when is Anya going to get a haircut? I don't know where that came from, Anya.
Actually, Frank, I have to, in all honesty, while we were on the call, I texted my hairdresser saying, does she have time for an appointment?
All right.
Anya, are you in LBI?
No, I'm not. I will be there as of this week for the next week and a half. I'm in Basking Ridge right now.
Okay.
Will you be in LBI?
Yes, but I don't know when. I haven't gotten dates yet.
Okay, get my
Harry's-
contact information from Frank, because remember, we're going to Wally's together.
Yes, but I don't have your number to call you.
Okay, well, Frank will give you my number.
Okay. Hear that, Frank?
I heard it, Sandy.
Get on
God
it, Frank.
bless you.
Get on it. How old was he, Frank?
Text
I
me her
missed.
number.
I missed the
Uh,
beginning. I missed the beginning. How old was the photographer? Serhii?
I don't know how old he is as a fact, but I would say probably 30-ish.
Yeah.
If I was guessing, right? A little less, a little more, you know,
12.
something like.
12, you look 12.
No.
Looks
Yeah, he
12.
looks like he's 12. Yeah. I mean, the other woman from yesterday, Madeline, I mean, she sounds like a kid. I mean, and these are like seasoned veterans of wars. I mean, it's amazing. All these young folks. So, yeah. Oh,
God bless them.
and it continues, but you start to hear like in that kid's voice, like, we should settle this. You know, it's an interesting thing to hear, you know, from somebody who's there, you know, thinking
They're
like,
tired. I mean, this is going on
yeah, yeah,
since what, 2016?
14,
14.
yeah, yeah.
They're
It's
tired.
it's yeah,
They want to build their city.
hear it, you know, it's interesting to hear like enough is enough. Yeah, it's crazy, very, very crazy.
I'd like to hear Putin say that. Enough is enough and stop.
Yeah, it's all crazy, all crazy. So
So evil. I can't wrap my mind around the evilness of these people.
yeah, it's yeah, power in the wrong hands is just not good, right? It's just not.
Completely unrelated, or maybe I'm always interested is, he's got children living outside of Russia, in Europe and otherwise. I'm interested as to why there is no coverage about what's going on with them, what they think about him. I think he's got 2 daughters at least that live outside Russia. Like, this is just random thoughts from Anya, but to your point, Sandy, about him being evil, I mean, what must they think of their father, or are they indoctrinated in his way of thinking?
Do you think they'd even speak?
I would think they're indoctrinated like Trump's kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they have no heart, they have no soul. They're just evil, absolute pure evil.
but I mean, as we all know, I mean, where everyone else lives, they get a different set of propaganda that, makes, they're still thinking that they're killing Nazis in Ukraine. I mean,
Right, but since they don't live in Russia, right?
yeah, no, I understand what you
Europe,
mean.
I'm thinking the propaganda they're hearing is,
They're putting their
Correct.
lives in danger. They
Yeah.
would never.
no, I know they would never say anything. I'm just saying, how do they go on with their lives? You understand?
Yeah, no, it's all, obvious stuff that, who has answers for.
Yeah.
You just don't, you just don't. Right, Aline?
I would think if they were
No
different, I would guess if they were different from their father, they would speak up. And because we don't hear anything from them at all, I would guess they're like him.
Or they're just afraid of being pushed out a window.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of talk recently about Hannah Arendt's book, The Banality of Evil, about Eichmann. I've never read it, but it might be something interesting to read because I think it really pertains to a lot of these people. They found a niche where they can get rich and powerful, and it's corrupting, even for the children.
Yeah, they have a wonderful lifestyle and all of that. And why am I questioning anything? My father says this. Yeah,
It works for me, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. The human condition is is an interesting thing. It just is, right? What we will do with power and opportunity, right? Those kinds of things are really
And-
staggering.
And Frank, I really appreciate the questions you ask during the interview, to sort of pull out the individual. They're very poignant.
That's very nice of you to say, but I thought and as I was watching it again now, the I don't know why I didn't ask, but like it's really a rudimentary question. Like in those shelters, does everyone have their own space? Like when they leave, they can come back and know that their bed is there, this is their, like, that's their space. It's not sort of a random thing, which I assume in the cities where there's tons of people running back in, what is that like?
Yeah.
Like, get away. This is my bed, and that's where my kids sleep. And do you have that? So then the next time we have somebody who's on, I'll ask that question. I'm embarrassed that they didn't ask it actually.
Don't
When
be
you see it
embarrassed.
that way.
Can't think of everything.
No, but now you say it, it's a pretty obvious question. Like what, because I asked them about whether is there order down there, and it seems like everyone just goes to their own space and waits it out. But you just wonder, in a bigger city where there's more people and there may be more random people who just happen to be in town, like these journalists, like,
Right.
do they know stay here? This is more day in and day out, and this is more just for random people. You just wonder what that system is like, and if there is a system. But that's one thing we've learned over these past 2.5, 3 years, is that everything seems to be orderly with the Ukrainian folks,
Yes.
the civilian population. They clean up, they worried about their dogs, and all of that. So
Streets are clean.
yeah, it's amazing,
It's
really
amazing.
amazing. So we shall see.
There's a company that makes a photography processing app, and they're in Ukraine. And as far as I know, they're still in Ukraine working for this company.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
used to, every time I heard about this app, it always makes me think of them.
Well, Sandy, there's homework. Tomorrow you have to drop that into the chat room, the app. Find out, who it is.
Oh, I know the app. It's
Oh, well, you do it tomorrow.
okay.
So we're all awake when you drop it in. We'll let you start off tomorrow with, yeah. In fact,
Only 8:50.
you have the early presentation tomorrow, Sandy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit about the app and drop it in.
Only if you let me know. Let me in.
I'll let you in, but I'm going to have a really tight clock on you, Sandy. I don't want you running on. You got 2.5 minutes.
I
That's
don't
it.
type that fast.
Well, just be ready. Anyway,
I'll be ready.
thank you all for coming, and we will see you tomorrow night if you're available. And if not, that's fine. Everything will be up on YouTube, by the weekend.